Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. So we just got done filming the latest Strive course, which is all about nutrition, and I'm here with the main trainer, Veronika. So Veronika, thank you so much for being here. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, your journey, and what learning about nutrition has done for you?
Sure. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure recording the course here. So my name is Veronika and I'm a holistic nutritionist. I'm also a registered nurse. And in 2009, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And it's a very debilitating disease. And I was on a path of learning how to control my multiple sclerosis more naturally without medication as I was going through this journey of learning how to heal my body from MS. Unfortunately, I was putting on a lot of weight, and by 2015 my non-pregnancy weight was 226 pounds. So nutrition world was opened up to me, and I started to learn new ways of healing my body from the inside out. And once that started to happen, the weight started to melt off my body. And so once I learned to heal my body and inflammation went down, within a year, I became 113 pounds.
Now, I just found that out yesterday. I didn't know that before you came here, that you lost half your body weight, and that's a pretty extraordinary result. So that was just through eating right, and were you doing like a lot more exercise, or was it like mostly the nutrition?
Actually, to be honest with you, I do not exercise at all. Very rarely I will do some sort of a workout, like intense workout. Mostly I go for walks and stuff, but most of my weight loss came from nutrition. So by balancing out my blood sugars, by balancing out my hormones, especially after having 3 babies, hormones go all over the place. I was able to achieve the results that I have achieved, yeah?
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. So people who don't know a lot about nutrition like me typically think it's all about exercise, getting in shape, but
Right.
You're saying that no, it's more about nutrition. Now, when people hear about eating right and getting really into nutrition, sometimes they can think, okay, I'm going to have to really deprive myself and eat a lot of lettuce and things like that. Talk to us a little bit about that. What kind of foods would people be eating on this? I know it's not a diet because you said you don't believe in diets.
Correct.
A lifestyle. What kind of foods would they be eating?
So when you're thinking about diet, you're exactly right. You're thinking of depriving yourself. You're thinking of removing certain things. And that means removing nutrients that are so necessary for your body to keep your body at a perfect balance. So my program, when I'm talking about my program, we're actually nourishing. We're adding nutrition into the lifestyle. So people will be eating all sorts of meat, fish, seafood, vegetables, fruits. You're still on the same path, but we're removing actually foods that are less nutrient dense, that contain practically no nutritional value and create a lot of inflammation and a lot of hormonal imbalances.
Can you still have any sweets like chocolates or anything, or is that completely out?
Well, no, it's not. Actually, chocolate is really good for you because it contains a lot of magnesium. So for women, when you guys are craving chocolate, especially during your period of the month, it means you are lacking a lot of magnesium, and that's the way your body is communicating. That being said, you will still be able to drink your wine once in a while, having chocolates. I have beautiful, delicious recipes that are kid-friendly. They are kitchen-friendly, so you don't need to spend hours in the kitchen. Everything is included in the program.
Excellent. Now, this program that we filmed for Strive, there were 12 lessons. Each one was maybe about 15 to 20 minutes. So how is this designed to be taken? Do they take this over a week, or what time period? And when could people realistically expect to start seeing results?
So yes, with nutrition, it's a lesson that you need to take, and then you need to be able to absorb it and put action tasks towards that lesson. So I give you some homework to do, some steps to implement, then you're able to see changes as you move along. Usually by week 3, people start to see, oh my God, like I'm fitting better into the jeans, or my clothes is fitting better, or I'm no longer having that back fat that's been hanging over the bra, which is a huge thing for ladies. So yeah, within 3 weeks, I would say, of following the diet, of following the lifestyle, and following the steps that I outline, you should see the results.
most people, can you talk to us a little bit about what would you say are the most common mistakes that people make when it comes to nutrition? What kind of foods are they eating which just pack on weight, and what should they cut out immediately? Maybe the top 3 foods.
Sure. So the top 3 foods to cut out would be any sort of white processed stuff. So pastas, rice, wraps, bread, that kind of stuff. If you cut that out, you're going to see huge results right away as well. Sugar is a huge one because it creates a whole chaos inside of our bodies. And then the third one would be any sort of snacking. Stop snacking all day long and give yourself a little bit of space between the meals so you actually allow for certain hormones to come out and take place in fat burning instead of fat storing.
When it comes to meals, what are some of the most common foods that you yourself eat with this, following this lifestyle?
So I'll tell you, my breakfast, for example, consists of some eggs, a little bit of avocado, a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables. That's my breakfast. Usually, if I don't feel hungry, then I'm gonna make what I call a supercharged coffee. I'm a coffee addict. So I make coffee, I put cacao butter, which is the chocolate butter, and then I put a tablespoon of collagen, blend it up, and that fills me up, honestly, for about 4 hours. So I don't even feel like eating. Lunch is usually some sort of a protein, so grilled fish, some seafood. I tend to stay closer to sea world, like seafood world, rather than eating meat. If I eat meat, I gravitate towards grass-fed, organic types of meats, beef sometimes, mostly chicken, and I do avoid pork altogether. And then supper is kind of very similar to my lunch, plus I include some more starchy vegetables to fuel my thyroid properly. So like maybe half a cup of sweet potatoes or some squash, butternut squash is a good one, or maybe 1 or 2 cups of berries.
Got it. When you're cooking the meat, how do you recommend people cook it? Is frying out, or can they still fry, and what's the best way?
Great question. So you should not be technically frying anything, because when you heat the oil at a very high temperature for a prolonged period of time, it denatures the molecules of oil. And so what happens is it becomes a toxin for your liver. So then you're storing more toxins in your liver. When you're cooking your fish or meats, the best thing is to grill them. You can also bake it, you can boil it, you can pressure cook it. So there's different styles of cooking except for frying.
When it comes to your supper, is there a time that you won't eat after, or what? How do you do that?
Right, so the timing of the meals are very important. First, I'm just gonna go back to breakfast for a second. You should be eating your breakfast within an hour of waking up, and that's super important to balance out your hormone called leptin, which is responsible for hunger and for cravings later on during the day. So when you balance that out, cravings are pretty much eliminating. For supper time, when you're eating supper, you should give yourself at least 3 hours between you finishing your last bite and going to bed. So if you go to bed at 10 o'clock, 7 p.m. should be your last bite kind of thing. Does that make sense?
It does. And as you're talking, I'm realizing like all the things I do wrong right now. I'm going to have to cut out bread and yeah. Okay. So that's very interesting. I want to ask you, so a personal question. For my breakfast, I usually will have a smoothie. I blend a lot of fruit and vegetables. Is that good, or should I be eating solid foods for breakfast, or what do you think about that?
Okay, so first of all, men and women are very different in the way we process carbohydrates and in the way our hormones are working. We're way more complex than you guys, and this is a good thing because you can pretty much eat most of the stuff and not see the weight gain that women do go through. So for breakfast, you should avoid carbohydrates, but if you're making a smoothie, add a nice scoop of some sort of a fat. So whether it is MCT oil or coconut oil or cacao butter, any type of fat, avocado would be good in your smoothie. As soon as you add the fat, what's gonna happen is your blood sugars from carbohydrates are not gonna spike up as quickly as they would if you didn't add that fat to it.
Got it. Okay, that's good. I have an avocado usually, so that's good. So guys, you can probably tell just from listening to Veronika talk about this, she knows a lot. And this course, I was behind the camera the whole time and I was learning a lot. It's full of a lot of information, but it's very practical. And I think that result you got of losing half your weight, that's incredible without exercising. So if that sounds interesting to you, we're going to start editing this course. It should be available very soon to all Stride members. If you want to get a 7-day free trial of Strive, you can go to strivecourses.com, enroll. It's completely free. You can check out all the content. But this course in particular, this is going to be a great course. So Veronika, thank you very much for doing this course. And guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.